Blacks in Technology.
Blacks in Technology. Blacks in Technology. Blacks in Technology. Blacks in Technology. Blacks in Technology.
Welcome, everybody, to the 85th episode of the Blacks in Technology Bit Tech Talk podcast. I am your host, Greg Greenlee, and this is a show where we talk to people of color, underrepresented people who are engineers, innovators, educators, inventors, and entrepreneurs doing amazing things in the world of technology. This podcast is where they share their experiences, ideas, knowledge, and perspective on tech with the Bit community. If this is your first time listening, you can check us out at the following URLs. We're at www.blackintechnology.net. You can also check us out on the Twitters. We're at Black in Technology, and that's BLKINTECHNOLOGY. You can also check us out on Facebook. We do have a Facebook page, and that's facebook.com/Blacks in Technology. And we also have an ever-growing LinkedIn group under Blacks in Technology, so check us out there as well. Again, if you're on Twitter right now and you're listening to this podcast, if you have questions for our guests, tweet them to us using the hashtag BitTechTalk. That's BITTECHTALK. That's BitTechTalk. Blacks in Technology is a tech-focused community and media organization. We're focused on increasing diversity in technology. We're also focused on forming new partnerships and opportunities to assist our members with their continued professional growth and development. So if you, for any general inquiries related to sponsorship or partnerships with Blacks in Technology, send them to contact us at blacksintechnology.net. Tonight, this is the Changing Lives Through Careers in Tech podcast. I'm very excited about this podcast. It's been a while since we've had multiple guests on a podcast at the same time. Usually we only have, our podcasts are usually one-on-one, but we have multiple guests tonight. And I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to introduce each one of them and give you a brief description of their background, but we'll go more into depth about their background during the podcast. So I want to introduce Felicia Bullard. She graduated from Syracuse University. She has a BS in Information Management and Technology. She is a former student athlete who received her 4-year scholarship to play NCAA basketball. Pretty exciting. After graduation, she began her career at Dex Media, a print and digital marketing company where she was on the sales and marketing team. Upon changing her career path and joining Step It Up America, she is now training to become an IT consultant with a concentration on quality assurance analyst. We also have Manuela Davila. She's a graduate of the Chicago Step It Up America class, graduating from the very first Chicago class of October of this year. So prior to joining the program, Manuela had spent several months searching for entry-level jobs in the field, and she recently graduated with a degree in computer information systems. We also have Kimberly Grigsby. She's the city lead for the Chicago Step It Up America. What she does is she helps direct all of UST Global efforts in Chicago. We'll get more into what UST Global is. And SIUA, which is Step It Up America, is one of the projects. She introduces the program to the city. She socializes the program with companies. She works with women before going onto a client site, develops relationships with people in the community. She manages direction of where Step It Up America is going in Chicago. And she's also on the board of Chicagoland Chamber of Commerce, where she networks with C-level executives, and she helps plan the growth of Step It Up America and other engagements for UST Global in the Chicagoland area. And last but not least, we also have Nikki Aurora. She is the Chief Marketing Officer at Step It Up America. She has been instrumental in building the UST Global brand through corporate and business development, multiple branding and marketing platforms, corporate social responsibility programs, and special philanthropic initiatives. So I want to welcome all four of the ladies onto the podcast. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Greg.
Thank you.
Excellent. We're going to jump right into questions. You're welcome. Go ahead. I'm definitely excited about this. I'm like we were talking earlier, and usually I'm not. It's usually a one-on-one thing, and so now I'm kind of outnumbered. So I'm adjusting to this. So hopefully I Hopefully I don't mess up too much, but we'll see. So I want to close.
Sadly, it's a podcast. It's not a face-to-face. Otherwise, we'll have a queue, right?
Right. Exactly. So I want to pose the first question to Nikki. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Nikki, and what you do at Step It Up America, and also tell us about Step It Up America and UST Global.
Yeah. So, firstly, Greg, thank you for having us on this call, and it is a pleasure to be here. As a Chief Marketing Officer, like you rightly said, of UST Global and Step It Up America program, my primary focus has been brand management, brand awareness, brand positioning, and business development through various strategic and philanthropic initiatives across the globe. I personally have been in IT industry for about 19 years now specializing in corporate brand building, operational management, talent acquisition management, lead generation, and client relationships. And as a brand ambassador and co-creator of Step It Up America, I do want to share with the listeners that I am the first generation immigrant from my family into this country. And I'm a minority woman leader in technology world. So I want to emphasize on this because, therefore, this program is really comes from the bottom of my heart. And I have witnessed the problem of diversity and gender balanced workforce firsthand in the corporate world. So again, with that said, I'm highly passionate about Step It Up America program. I can't wait for you and your listeners to hear about this beautiful, incredible, strong, intelligent women who are a product of this program and how the program has transformed their lives. And who is UST Global and what do we do? So UST Global, we have been in the industry for over 15 years and have over 15,000 associates globally. We have operations in about 25 countries and 4 continents. What do? We are a leading technology services company. We provide powerful solutions for Global 1,000 companies. Our mission is to lead companies and our customers through critical digital transformation to drive the business value, right? A higher business value. And if in simplest language or in simplest term, I would say we specialize in next generation digital services. I'm sure everybody's heard about digital services nowadays: design, cybersecurity, mobile, social, analytics, and cloud. So we build applications, products, and platforms for our customers so that they can keep the lights on 24/7. UST Global is an American corporation. We are based and headquartered in Aliso Viejo in Southern California. We predominantly provide services to healthcare, retail, engineering, telecom, and pharmaceutical and media industry.
Excellent. Well, I definitely want to say this. I definitely want to congratulate you on your success in your career. I love seeing, or even hearing, it's a better term for it. I love hearing when minority women are making excellent strides, especially in the climate that we're in with regards to the technology industry. But more so than anything, I love hearing positivity and inspirational stories, which is why all you women are here tonight. But hearing, your ascent to where you are in your career, it's definitely a great feeling. So congrats.
Thank you, Greg.
So tell us a little bit more about the Step It Up America program. How did that whole thing get started? And then can you go into what the application and selection process is like?
Right. So this is quite an interesting story. I was flying back with our CEO on a plane from Mexico, and this is right when we had launched our Mexico operations in Leon at Central Fox. Our experience in Mexico with the graduates and the freshers, right? It inspired us to think about, what can we do? What can we do locally? We have so many jobs in the United States in technology, and there is such a I would say parity, or there's such a gap between men and women workforce in IT, and that's how this whole idea came about. That what about going into the larger cities and just really focusing on minority women, right, and giving them opportunity and giving them that second chance to really get trained in technology and then just prove it to themselves. So that's how this whole idea came about, and that was really the inception of the idea. We landed, and the next day we're just sitting and just brainstorming on as to how do we basically go about launching this program and come up with the entire curriculum and what kind of partner ecosystem should we have in place and whatnot. So that's really pretty much how the entire idea came about.
Excellent. So what can you go a little bit into? Is there an application and selection process that takes place with the participants, Nikki?
Yes. Absolutely. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Right. So, so there are very basic prerequisites to enroll. Obviously, what we're looking for in an applicant is really someone who is individuals that are highly committed. They're excited and have passion for technology, first and foremost. And if that is what you are and who you are, then this program is for you. As far as academic prerequisites, we are looking for undergraduates, graduates, or someone who has associate degree, or if you're enrolled in an associate degree program, or even have a high school diploma with a minimum GPA of 3.0. As long as individuals that are enrolling into this program, they are committed to long days, weekends, and are available for an intense 12 weeks of training. This is really pretty much the program that can really change their lives.
Excellent. And I do like to say that passion, and it's funny because I recently spoke at a program similar to what you all are doing to Step It Up America. It's called Perscolas, and they take participants who really have never even stepped foot in the technology field, but want to change their lives and want to change their career path, and they're looking at technology to do that. And so they have this 8-week training program where they teach them about entry-level, how to be an entry-level technician, right? So they come out of there usually with their A+ certification. And I recently spoke at one of their classes, and one of the things, I had a slide presentation, and one of the things that I always like to tell people who are considering going into technology is have passion about this, because, at the end of the day, you don't want to have these regrets about what you're doing, and you don't want to be unhappy in the job that you're in, and technology is such a demanding job or career as far as, consistently staying up on what the latest technology is, consistently studying, and making sure that you're at the top of your game, because there's a lot of competition out there. So you have to be willing to sacrifice some nights and some time in your personal life to take a few nights out and study what the latest and greatest thing is, and study, kind of what, if your job requires you to know something and you don't quite grasp it yet, you might have to go home and crack open a book, or you might have to go home and jump on your computer and, hit up Wikipedia and Google and try to learn these things. But the only way you're going to stay competitive in this field is if you're constantly learning. And if you, the only way you're going to constantly stay learning is if you're passionate about what you're doing. So I definitely agree with you on the passion part of it. It's definitely, to me, it's a requirement.
Absolutely. And what you said, Greg, right? Passion, and you have to be committed, right? You have to be driven.
Right.
And there needs to be a meaningful purpose into whatever you do in life, right? So that's where you actually see the deeper influence and how it emerges into your life and how it changes the quality of your life. So absolutely, I completely agree with you. Passion is a must for you to, and in today's time and age, especially in technology, right? Any skill set, if you look at it, right, the shelf life is less than 3 to 5 years, right? We are, there's so much evolution and so much innovation happening that even as a software engineer, you have to constantly hone your skills and stay ahead. So yes, and for the same goes for the Step It Up America women, right? I mean, yes, this is basically it gives them a structure, it gives them a platform, but we have a great career advancement program for them. We have our vast experience of over 16 years in training software engineers and having that internal ecosystem, it really qualifies us to deliver these training successfully and continue to do that over and over. So what this program is about is really emphasizing on 4 competency areas of skill sets, right? So it's core competency, technical basics, tool skills, and obviously to have an understanding and knowledge of our customers and industry domains. So if they're going to be working for a healthcare customer, to understand healthcare industry and understand the customer environment. And technical skills, we'll be focusing on skills such as business analyst, quality assurance testing, project coordination, technical skills such as Java, .NET, and whatnot, right? So, and I think that's an advantage of being a technology organization, right? So it marries so easily, and so it's such a smooth transition for us.
Very nice, very nice. So we're actually going to get into some of the participants of the program, Felicia and Manuela, and we'll also be talking to Kimberly, who is city lead. So I want to start with Felicia first, and I'm going to pose the question to all 3 of you. But so, Felicia, can you give us a little bit of information about who you are and your background?
Yes. So, like you said, I have a bachelor's degree in information management and technology, which was basically a broad learning of everything, a little bit of project management, some coding. So I know a little bit of everything, jack of all trades, as I would say.
Right.
And then once I graduated, I had trouble trying to find a job and trying to pursue my passion in IT. So that's how I fit into all of this.
Excellent, excellent. And what about you, Manuela?
Yes, hello, Greg. First of all, I would like to thank you for having us today and for giving me the opportunity to share my story and my experience. In regards to my background, I myself, just like Nikki, also immigrated to the United States. I am from Mexico, and I've been living in the United States for 10 years. Prior to joining the Step It Up America program, I was a student at the Chicago Community College, and I was also working a full-time job at a local hardware store. I was working as an administrative assistant. And when I came to the Step It Up America program, I came with a degree in IT, but without being fully equipped to find a position in the IT industry. Prior to joining the program, I didn't have any previous work experience in the industry. So this is actually the first experience.
Excellent, excellent. And Kimberly?
Yes.
Give us a little bit about your information about your background and how you fit into Step It Up America.
Okay. I probably, out of everybody on this phone call, probably know the least amount about IT, but my learning curve has been very great. I am an attorney by education and training, and have been in the education field and practiced law for many, many years, and always have had a passion for children, families, and making sure people are doing what they need to do on an educational basis to get from this point to being active participants in the United States economy. So what does that mean for me? So I always manifest myself into jobs that would make sure that I was out there in the public front, making sure I was uplifting people. So about 10 years ago, I started working diversity programs. So I started off in the law field doing diversity programs, and then I moved to the advertising industry where I helped to create a program with the One Club, a diversity program that we carried to all the HBCUs, and I'm still in contact with them and doing that. And then this little program called Step Up America came around, and I said, you know what? This sounds like something really cool. And so I said, well, you know, I'm diversity. I understand these concepts. Maybe I can help out.
Absolutely. I think Kimberly's being humble. She actually, Greg, overlooks, she leads the entire sales and operations for our Chicago operations down there, and also overlooks the entire Step Up America operations and execution. So it's fantastic to have her on the team.
Excellent.
Thank you very much. You know,
yeah, you're being modest. Chicago is a large city.
Absolutely.
Very large city.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kim.
The cool thing about diversity is it doesn't really matter what the industry is, because the numbers are abysmal. If you take them from the advertising industry, if you take them from some IT industry, they're abysmal across the board. And, you know, I was on Twitter the other day. I am a recent Twitterer, so I started doing some Twitter things, and, you know, I was checking out some things, and the numbers across the board are abysmal. And what I learned is that everybody is kind of having the same problems, the same issues. And somebody from Apple was saying, you know, we're having a hard time finding quality, diverse candidates. And I quickly tweeted back and said, you know, if you want innovation, you have to seek innovative ways in order to find diverse talent. You can't use 20th century. You can't use 20th century recruiting methods to find the next Google person or the next diverse talent person. In addition to that, you also have to look at your people who are on your interviewing panel, because if you look at somebody, and if your interviewing panel may come from all one different race, and no one on that panel looks like me or looks like Nikki or looks like Manuela, you know, if you're looking for something called passion, well, in my community, if I'm really passionate about something, then my language might start to get a little casual. Well, for somebody who might be from a Eurocentric background, they might perceive casual language to mean that I am not interested in a job. Whereas in my community, hey, the more casual that I get, the more comfortable that I am. So I kept tweeting things and saying, hey, if you're looking for innovative ways to seek IT talent, then you need to be reaching out to the USC Globals of the world. You need to be reaching out to Step It Up America, because we have an innovative way to attract wonderful, not average, not okay, wonderful talent and put them in the marketplace. And we deal with top companies all over the United States. And I'm going to brag a little bit on Manuela. Manuela came to our program and would barely open her mouth. Manuela spoke at our launch that we had in October for the second class, and spoke without notes, without any kind of aids or assistance. She's an eloquent speaker, and she's here today. I'm literally almost in tears just hearing Manuela just express herself. Even more so than that, Manuela, for the first time in history, is working with one of our top-notch clients, who is, for the first time in history, deploying an application in English and in Spanish for the first time for 2 regions for the McDonald's Corporation. Now, where else in America could you take somebody who would be an unlikely candidate if they would have applied on their own, train them for, like Nikki said, for a 12-week period of time, and put them at a Fortune 500 company, and then they become an indispensable resource? Her department was shut down if she did not show up on tomorrow.
Wow.
Right.
So,
and to add to what Greg Kimberly just said, right? I think the point that she touches upon on innovation. If you hear in the industry today, people talk about really good technology companies succeed in building breakthroughs, right? And I personally believe Step It Up America is that breakthrough. It is the social innovation that makes a difference, right? It's through jobs and training and through technology. So, going back to what Kimberly just mentioned, about the stats, some of the facts, if you look at it, right, in the industry. I was just listening to Ruth Perot, the CFO of Google recently, and in her interview, she said, and she was asked a question around diversity. And she said, this is, it's not about just doing the right thing. It's not that it's the right thing to do socially. It is the right thing to do for your business, right? There was a analyst from CNN Money who basically just mentioned the other day about that only 5%, I believe the number was 5%, yes, only 5% of women hold leadership position in S&P 500, right? And only 14% of top 5 positions are held by women in the companies. So, yes, there is still a lot of work to be done, and I believe Step It Up America is the program. It is an end-to-end program. There are a lot of corporations that have, tried this, larger corporations that have tried this. But because they're so large and so dense, it is difficult for them to do this. And we have been able to do this so successfully, right, over and over and over. And going back to the transforming lives and changing lives of these women, there are so many stories. There are so many moving stories. I mean, if you listen to, Ebony Triggs or Natalie Fraser or April Blount or Tina Scott or Myra, I mean, there's so many women in this program that have life-changing experiences, and it just moves your heart. So we are certainly, absolutely privileged to be doing this, and we are able to just have a voice, right, on this show and just reach out to the larger audience.
Yeah, and I want to touch on a couple of things that you all were saying. First is about how the Googles of the world, how the Twitters of the world say they're looking for diversity, but yet they continue to go back to the same talent pool, and they're not thinking outside the box, and they're not reaching out beyond that to find candidates. I think it's important. The reason why I think what you all are doing is so important is because I have this kind of philosophy that we're, no matter what, we're gonna move on with or without the Googles and the Twitter, right? We're going to continue to do our work and pursue what I consider like our crusade, and that's to increase diversity in tech. And the way that you all are doing is that you're training the next generation, or even this current generation of minorities and women in tech to get out there and be competent in what they do and be professionals and be experts in their field. And so you're tackling diversity at that level. The way that Blacks in Technology do it is that we highlight and spotlight organizations such as Step It Up America, and we highlight and spotlight women and people of color who are doing extraordinary things or are making strides in this industry. And by doing so, we're changing the perception and perspective of people who might look at women of color, women in tech, people of color differently. And now they're looking at them like, okay, now I hear these stories, I see what they're doing. Now my perception has changed about what they can do and what they can accomplish. So now I don't have those preconceived notions of what I consider a computer scientist or what I consider an engineer or a tech professional. So I love that,
absolutely,
how we go about doing that, and eventually, and I like to tell people this all the time, Blacks in Technology is in existence so that we don't have to exist. And I say that over and over and over again. And some people look
well said, Greg.
Some people look at me funny when I say that because they think that I want to be this organization, or that we want to have this organization that stays in in existence for 30 or 40 years. And I'm like, no, like, our job is to break these barriers. Our job is to push people or get people of color more into tech. And if we do what we're supposed to be doing, then we won't have to exist 5-10 years down the road, right? There'll be enough women in tech, there'll be enough people of color in tech to where now if I set this person and this person side by side, you're not going to be able to pick out who is the tech professional. And I think that's what you all are striving for, and I know that's definitely what we're striving
Absolutely. For. And I think, Greg, it is no longer about leaning in, right? It is about forcing the hand, right?
Right.
I think Step It Up America is an American urban sourcing model. I think, UST Global has a rural sourcing model, but I think what it really does is that it really builds that community, right? It's building a human capital, so in our community, right? Locally. So what you're doing is you're building a knowledge economy, and that's what you need, right? Current generation, next generation. The STEM is so focused on next generation, right? But I'm saying there are so many jobs. Today we have 600,000 traditional IT jobs that we need to fill in the United States of America. Right?
Yes.
And Step It Up America is so powerful because I think it empowers the women. It gives them the financial freedom, right?
Yeah.
Which we all know. Which we all know, right? Where it's so much needed for women for their security, for financial freedom, for feeding to their family, and looking after the next generation, and becoming a role model for their own kids. So I think it's it's an innovative urban sourcing model, and it's just it's about really converting these women into IT consultants in large corporations, and maybe tomorrow these women will be the buyers, right, of technology. Who knows?
And Greg, let me say this.
Yes.
Diversity makes financial sense for companies, regardless of whatever the company or whatever the industry is. We're expecting the browning of not only just America, but in terms of the whole world. It's the browning of the world. We're going to a globalized society where, there are going to be more people of color than non-color existing. So the whole notion that if you look at and if you listen to Mellody Hobson in her TED Talks, when are we going to go to a Fortune 500 company, open the door, and see all white men and say, oh, that's acceptable. So if we open the door and we see a whole bunch of black people or a whole bunch of other minority people, then we started looking crazy at it. So we're going to have to dispel a whole lot of these myths that, people of color, regardless of what color it is, people of color are not deserving to be in these positions, number one. Number two, because we have $1 trillion buying power in the community as it is right now, just across the board. That's number one. Number two, if you segment and you don't have diversity and thought on these teams as you're creating ideas and generating solutions to things, then you're just narrowing your profit margin as to who you're able to market to, and that's not a healthy value proposition when you're looking at dollars and bottom line for a company. So that doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense from that perspective. So let's look at it from the perspective of a growing economy and this recession that we're in. We're looking at a bunch of people who have been marginalized in the society because of whatever. One of the great things that our CEO says is that intellect is equally distributed in the culture, in the world, but opportunity for education is not. So because you were born into a poor family or because life circumstances have happened to you and you haven't had the access to education, does that mean that you should be locked out of the whole financial system so that you can't earn money, so that you can't take care of your family? Absolutely not. There are more money and dollars spent in most companies in an IT department than all the rest of the departments put together. So if we're chasing trends instead of chasing, trying to be a rapper or trying to be a video gamer or whatever, we need to be chasing this thing called IT. That's what we need to be chasing.
And that's okay. I mean, you can be a rapper. You can be a rapper. You can be whatever you want to be. But there is no way out of technology. I think Our CEO says technology is the new oil, right? It is the new oil. I mean, there's no way out of it. And going back to what Kimberly said, right? I mean, if you National Institute of Economics, right? I mean, they found that technical work teams with women, they were better at staying on schedule and executing the project at lower cost, right? Yep. This just proves to what Kimberly just mentioned, right? And even if you look at the studies, right, across average Fortune 500 companies with the highest percentage of female board of directors, okay, they have significantly outperformed companies with a lower female representation. And yes, the irony is women hold less than 1 in 5 tech roles in today's corporate world.
Yep.
Wow.
And if you take out help desk, and you take out call center, the people of color represent 0.5% of the IT industry. 0.5%.
Yeah, we definitely have a lot of work to do.
Missing it. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We have talent. We have good people.
Right.
Greg. We have great people in this country. They just need a second chance. They need someone to believe in them, and that's it.
Right.
That's it. It's not about charity. It's about giving them tools and skills to let them prove to themselves and to this world.
Right.
Greg, we have a very challenging program. It's extremely challenging. Our ladies are tested twice a week, and that's they have to earn their keep every week to earn another week to stay. And at the end, where most companies say, okay, fine, you got your skills, you got your certification, off you go, we guarantee ladies a job at the end of the day, those that successfully graduate from the program. So our model is a little bit different than a lot of other programs out there. And also we pay our people because we feel if we're taking you out of the workforce from a 9-to-5 workday and we're training you, we're going to pay you. So we pay our people to go through training, then we guarantee them a job where they're going to be working and exercising those skills on somebody's work site afterwards. It's the best buy before you try program ever.
Excellent. I want to say a couple of things. Real quick, I want to piggyback off of something that Nikki made reference to about being it's okay to be a rapper or a basketball player or whatever. I just want to say, because I hear this all the time, and I definitely agree with you, Nikki. It's not about, for me anyhow, from a perception standpoint, right? Because I always feel that we want people to be who they are, right? For instance, I'm a systems engineer. I have close to 15 years in this industry, and I love sports, right? I love hip hop.
Right.
I also love comic books. I also like watching cartoons, right? These are all the things that make me who I am, right? Music makes me who I am. Being, working out, being an athlete makes me who I am. And I don't ever want to discourage others from being who they are if that's what they like. But what I want to do is provide them with another option. And technology is another option for them. So it's not just, being a rapper. It's not just being a ball player. It's, you can be that, but you can also be this at the same time that you're that as well.
And I tell you what, right? Being a basketball player, you hone the skills of being a team player, right?
Right.
So, there are so many skills, right, that you basically have to apply in the corporate world, or even being a rapper, right? So I think it's really about complementing and taking your skills and applying it to technology, right? And honing your skills further. So I think it complements. And so I agree with you 100%. So whoever you are, whatever you are, I think it is important for you to be who you are, but bring your creativity, right? Bring your skills to whatever you do in life, and you'll see the results, right? So I completely on that.
I completely agree with you, but I have a caveat to that because I'm a lifelong education person as well. That's taught from college level and from the law school level on down. And here's what I do
Right.
know about education, particularly if people who come from a minority culture. Back in the day, you know, in the black community, you were taught to be a preacher, a teacher, or a doctor or a lawyer. That's it. You know, that's what you went to college to do. Regardless.
Sounds familiar. Sounds familiar to me, Kimberly. I come from India, so you know.
Yes. So in our communities, that's what you were told to do, because
Right.
pretty much your parents are paying the bill. You know, at that point in time, you got something different going on now. So yes, be true to your number one player. So be true to yourself. I get that. But sometimes, and you know, our CEO was on STEM Council. And what he learned through being on STEM Council and getting on the research from STEM Council is that part of the reason that there's a lack of women and a lack of minorities in general in the IT field is because we're discouraged going into those fields because there's a lack of role models. And because of the .com boom, people think that it's not a very viable field. So more minorities are geared toward going towards engineering fields and medical fields than they are to IT fields. So I say all that in jest, but really what I'm saying is don't necessarily, a lot of people go to college and will go and gravitate towards areas. Look, I have a 22-year-old at home. She wants to be a nurse because she sees how much a nurse can make, and that's what she wants to do. It has nothing to do because that's what she's good at, but she just knows that the nurse makes good money. And
Right.
And to some degree, we have to be smarter about the areas that we're educating our children in this next generation to do. If it is something that you want to do, and if you are open to several fields, just don't negate this field.
Right.
That was my
Right.
point. My point was really
Definitely.
you need to be open to something that maybe you didn't see before, because that's where the trends are. In order to really stay on top of things, Nikki said it a little while ago, the trend, there's nothing that you do these days that there's not going to be some component of it that won't touch an IT concept.
Right. And real quick, I want to say this last thing before we get back to questions to Felicia and Manuela. The reason why I actually say that is because of this. There is a huge lack of role models of people of color and women role models in the technology career field, right? What I found is that people they end up getting discouraged because they don't see anyone who looks like them. And it's almost like this kind of like this catch-22. So you don't see anybody who looks like you, so you don't go into the field. And so when one person decides to want to go in the field, they don't see anybody who looks like them. It's kind of like this revolving thing. The reason why I think it's important that people stay true to who they are and be who they are going into this field is because that lets others know that's a more inviting thing to me, right? It's more inviting to see somebody out there who I can relate to on more than just the technical level. Because for instance, when I go to these technical conferences all around the country, it's not even just, the technical aspect of it that makes me connect with people. There are other things beyond technology that allows me to connect with people. And I think when people have those commonalities, it's a lot more of an inviting atmosphere. People are more apt to trust that person. And younger people, when they see that, they'll say, hey, okay, that's something I can do. I like hip-hop music, or I like basketball, and so does that person because he just said it on stage while he was giving his talk about technology. This is for me, right? So that's why I think it's important. It's not only just about options for me. It's about the entire landscape of how that is projected, how that person looks to other people who might be coming up behind them and saying, hey, is this technology world even for me? And when you see somebody up there and you see all the things that you have in common with them, they're more apt to say, okay, yeah, that person has a lot of things in common with me. I think I'll give this thing a try. So that's my spill on that. But I want to get back. I want to learn a little bit more about the thought process behind signing up and entering the Step It Up program from Manuela and Felicia. So, Manuela, I'll pose this question to you first. It seems you both had degrees in information technology before you participated in the Step It Up America program. Tell me, what were some of the barriers? I heard both of you say that you had a hard time finding a job, and then you went through the Step It Up America program. So first off, tell me, what were some of the barriers that you all faced when you were out there job hunting, and then and what else was your motivation behind joining the Step It Up program? Manuela?
Yes, sure. So, yeah, like I mentioned before, prior to joining the program, after graduating from college, I had spent several months searching for entry-level job opportunities in the IT field. And most companies are looking for candidates who have bachelor's degrees or many certain years of experience. In my case, I had completed an associate's degree, and I actually had never had any experience in the field. So my objective after completing my degree was to get an opportunity in the information technology field that would offer me the professional growth and in which my technical abilities and analytical skills could be used. So I believe it was a desire to improve, the desire to grow into someone better, and also to contribute to the advancement in technology. So this is when I knew that this program was exactly the type of opportunity that I had been searching for, and this was the opportunity for me to show my potential.
Excellent. And what about you, Felicia?
Yes, I'm actually in the same. I was in the same boat as Manuela. After I graduated, I actually stumbled upon getting into the sales and marketing, and I quickly knew that it wasn't the field that I wanted to be in. I've always wanted to be in IT, and so as I was trying to go into IT, I ran into the same issue. These employees were looking for 3 to 5 years of experience, and that's something that I did not have. I had a bachelor's degree, but that's about it. No, hands-on work. And so, as I came across this wonderful opportunity with Step It Up America, I knew from that instance where they will be able to basically push me and place me in different opportunities that would allow me to grow my passion and to pursue something that I have always wanted to do.
Excellent. And after signing up for the Step It Up America program, what were were there any surprises? Was there, did you get there and you were like, I wasn't expecting this? Can you give us a little bit about, that?
Yes.
Felicia?
So, well, I was expecting more of like a college teaching, basically just kind of hammering the books, just taking notes, things along that line. But this program is more so, it's so in depth. It's not a broad teaching. It's focused on one particular position, and you get so much of hands-on work that I really was not expecting that. And not only was I expecting the hard skills, I knew that, but we also were trained on soft skills, which is just as important as hard skills. So going into it, that was something that I really was not expecting.
Excellent. Which I think is absolutely great because, theory is one thing, right? Cracking open a book and reading about how it's done is one thing. Working on it and coming face to face with some of the problems that you might have and being able to work through those problems is a totally different thing. And it really helps for the curriculum and your learning experience. It helps those things to stick. So I definitely anytime I went to a local college as well, and there was the curriculum there was a lot of hands-on labs, and when I would encounter people from some of the universities, I would actually know more than they would because a lot of their knowledge came from books, but they didn't have any practical hands-on lab experience at all. And so, it was funny because here I am paying a much less expensive tuition, and the college is not as prestigious as this, but I'm getting, to me, what I thought was actually a better education, and a lot of people, they learn that way. I know I'm definitely more of a hands-on person. I can read things, but if I don't apply those things, it's kind of a use it or lose it type situation. So it's good to hear that the Step It Up America program incorporates that hands-on training in their curriculum.
Yes.
Excellent. So Kimberly, I want to jump over to you. So you're the city lead for Chicago. What you gave us a little bit about kind of what your skill sets are and things like that. So tell us tell us a little bit about what the city lead is and how you became to be a part of the Step It Up America program for the city of Chicago.
Sure. I started off actually in Atlanta just being a consultant on just diversity matters just in general and with structure and things of that nature. And from there, I spent some time with the Atlanta team, spent some time in the Philadelphia team, and Nikki and I work with a colleague by the name of B.G. Moore, and he just has just a way about him sometimes. And so we had all come out to Chicago, and we were opening up a brand new city, and he just makes this grand announcement with our CEO and everybody, and they said, "Oh, congratulations, Kim Grigsby is now going to be here permanently." And I just kind of looked and shook my head and said, "Okay." So the blessing in all this is to say that, sometimes people see the talent in you that you may not necessarily know that is hidden deep within you. So my skill set, as you can see, I'm never shy of words. So I have no problem talking to people, regardless of what their walk in life is. But I also have a unique ability to try to convey ideas and convince people that doing the right thing is the best thing to do. So,
right.
And that's why Kimberly, you're at that job. Because you have a way of convincing people. Passion.
If you don't have passion about it, then, like you said, to your point earlier, put it down. And I think since day one, people have seen that I am passionate about this thing that I do. Manuela and Felicia, they know I call them my babies, all the students that come to the program. And I really believe in it's really servitude of what it is that I do. So what is it that I do? Okay, so whenever you have a program like this, the true success of a program lies in how well you can connect your program up to major companies and corporations. So it's my job and my responsibility to make sure that upon graduation, each and every person that we graduate has a place to go at a large company where they're going to be able to exercise their skills. In addition to that, where my team is able to connect up and stay connected up with senior management and the regional managers that are over all the different projects that are there. So that's in a nutshell what I do. So I sit on the board of the Chicagoland Chamber of Commerce. So not only is USC Global a board member, I am on the board of the chamber. So I'm a part of the decision-making body that has executive meetings, and we go to meetings with all the top companies in the city, and we just network and figure out ways where we can work well with each other on big issues. And as a matter of fact, I just got an email this evening, and they've asked USC Global and me to help them head up a new diversity effort for the whole city of Chicago through the chamber. So if that kind of shows you the depth and breadth of the work and the work that I'm willing to do in order for diversity issues to be advanced in the greater Chicagoland area.
Well, kudos for that big win.
Yeah, she's definitely doing a great job. She's definitely doing a great job. And to that, Greg, and I do want to share that since this program has been launched, we have received significant support and endorsement from community leaders, from industry leaders, mayors, governor, as well media, as well as community colleges and institutes. We've also, like Kimberly said, we have successfully partnered with the largest corporations in America for the deployment of Step It Up graduates. And these are the large organizations, right? Large healthcare organization, retail organization, airlines, financial services. So these are really, really large corporations, right? And so we've been very successful with that. But at the same time, there's still a lot more work to be done. We have state government approaches to replicate this training model, and icing on the cake is when Vice President Joe Biden endorsed and mentioned Step It Up America and UFC Global during the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act conference at the White House. So he visited our Detroit class, and he quoted that, I admire you so much. Any company is crazy not to hire you. I think that just sums it up. That just sums it up for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we are very excited. We are committed, and we want to make sure that we make this program the solution for job creation and just really fill those IT jobs in the United States of America.
Excellent. So I have a few more questions before we get out of here. So I want to ask you, Nikki, tell us about the 3 program courses that I think it's 3. Correct me if I'm wrong, but tell us about the program courses that you offer now, and are there any future plans to add more courses? And if so, what are those? What would those courses be?
Right, absolutely. One of the advantages of this program is that it is flexible and it is adaptable to the need of our customers. So I think, like I shared earlier, today we offer training in various disciplines, which is languages and tools. So some of the skill sets that we basically train is in business analyst, quality assurance, project coordination, and technical skills as well, Java, .NET, SharePoint, and COBOL, mainframe technologies and legacy technologies. Yes, to answer your question, do we have plans? Yes, of course. If the customer needs specific skill sets that they are looking to integrate into their organization, yes, we can do that.
Gotcha. Excellent.
Mm-hmm. Now, if you want to talk about some of the things we're talking about for the future, we are in discussions right now with a top, I guess it would be a insurance organization, so that we can offer classes. I mean, we can be as specific as offering a full class of individuals who are bilingual, Spanish-English people in certain disciplines. We've gotten requests for that. We've gotten requests for people who can not only repair but program and analyze and fix all kinds of specialized medical IT equipment and the software that's attached to it, which is kind of unique because usually your hardware people don't really do the software part of things in terms of the programming. So they're asking us to create a programmer who can then also be the hardware person as well. So that's a unique kind of twist of what it is that we're doing. And then there's also some business areas that we've been asked to recently look at. So procurement, some of these larger retail companies have problems finding expert people in procurement and logistics. So those are some of the requests that we're getting like right now.
But it's a highly customizable, it's a highly customizable training program. Yes.
Definitely sounds like it. It's funny because I just did a podcast with a company called Connexus out of Cincinnati, Ohio, and they are basically in the procurement technology business. So I definitely am aware of that. That being, at first I didn't actually know that was a thing. And so when I had this gentleman on talking about his company, I was just kind of taken aback, just hearing about, how, procurement and logistics is this big industry. And I was just like, oh, okay, I didn't know that. So it's good to hear that you all are flexible enough that, you can come up with curriculum based on your customers' needs. So that's great. So I want to go back to Manuela and Felicia. Manuela, I want to pose this question to you first. What are you doing these days in regards to the IT landscape? So what's your job role right now?
Yes. So I'm currently working at the client side, like Kimberly mentioned before. I'm working at McDonald's Corporation. When I completed the program, I got placed in November of last year, and I'm currently working as a QA analyst. And the fact that I am bilingual has opened a lot of doors for me to more opportunities. As we know, Spanish is the second most spoken language in the United States, and for this reason, more and more applications are being adapted to meet the needs of our Spanish-speaking community. So therefore, QA localization tests are now more in demand. And in my case, it has been an honor to be able to use this particular skill at McDonald's to translate and also validate their mobile offers application. So I'm currently the only Spanish-speaking quality assurance analyst in the United States that is working on the McDonald's application, the Spanish mobile offers application. And it feels great to be able to put those skills into practice. I can truly say that this experience has given me a sense of accomplishment.
Excellent. And I guess Nikki wasn't kidding when she said that if you didn't show up,
right. There's a lot of work.
If Manuela doesn't show up, Kim goes to Manuela's house.
And what about you, Felicia?
No.
What's your job? What's your job role? These days, Felicia?
Well, I'm still currently in the program. I have about 3 more weeks left, and then after I graduate from the program, I will be placed on the client site at Discover.
Oh, very nice.
So, yes.
Excellent. And what would you be doing at Discover?
So we will be working on an application. They just actually recently launched an app with personal loans. And so when I get on the client side, we will be working on their student loan side of it. And so we will be testing that application, making sure everything is a quality application before it is launched.
Very, very nice. So, real quick, Felicia, what are some of the applicable skills that you've gained?
Can I add one point real quick to that?
Sure.
The engagement that Felicia will be, and this is a testament to the quality of projects that these young ladies are working on. The engagement that Felicia will be on and the team of people that Felicia will be working with. The financial services institution is, for the first time in history, bringing from offshore to their home office this testing environment. Actually, a third party held the whole testing environment. The testing environment was not even controlled by Discover. So only people who will be touching it for the very first time will be Step It Up America students.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. And again, Felicia, what are some of the things that you're learning there? Are you specific programs?
Are you talking about specifically in my program?
Yes.
So, well, my program, the skills that I'm learning is being a quality assurance analyst. So basically, coming from all angles of testing the product. So before basically it's deployed and it launched, I will be going in and testing and making sure that it's a quality application based off of the requirements of the stakeholders.
Gotcha. Excellent. I want to kind of end this off. I want to hear from each one of you, starting with Manuela. What's next for you? What are some of your plans for the future in your career?
Sure. Well, I'm currently exploring different ways to network more with other minorities in the industry, especially Latinos in technology. And I'm looking for different ways to interact more with people who have been in the field longer and who are willing to serve as mentors as I grow in my career.
Excellent. What about you, Felicia?
And for me, it's just about really gaining the skills that I will need, having that networking piece so I can reach out to others that have been in the industry for X amount of years, and so I can ask them several questions on how did you do this and that, and how can I be where you are exactly. So that will be what's next for me.
Excellent. And what's I'll pose this to Nikki and Kimberly. What's next for Step It Up America? We'll start with Kimberly.
Well, my goal for the Chicagoland and Midwest region will be to double the amount of participants that we're putting through the program, and to double the amount of corporate clients that we will gain in the region, so that we can have a bigger presence and make sure that we are moving the needle one company at a time.
Excellent. And Nikki?
Yeah. Well, from organization point of view and being the ambassador of the Step It Up America, I think what I'm looking to do is continue to tell our story, to form a corporate coalition to really surpass our goal of 5,000, of really hiring and providing jobs to 5,000 women by 2020. And just continue on this road to build a strong foundation of self-sustainable community, for the social economic growth of our country.
Excellent. And last but not least, Nikki, how can organizations and other people get involved in the Step It Up America program if they wanted to reach out?
Greg, the call of action is really, truly for every corporation in America to collaborate with UST Global and give these women a job, right? We want to empower them. We want them to be the role model. We want to inspire the coming generation, and we want to fill this gap of gender equality, right? So UST Global is committing, is promising, is taking the ownership to recruit, to train, and deploy these women. But what I need, or what as an organization we need, is corporations to come to us and give us opportunity to deploy these women on projects.
Excellent. And I do want to say this before we get out of here to Manuela and Felicia. The Blacks in Technology community, I know it says Blacks in Technology, but we welcome everyone. We're a community of close to 1,900 members online. We have a pretty robust membership as far as technology disciplines. So you'll find people who are, hardcore developers, to people that do, quality assurance testing, to IT directors, to systems engineers, to DevOps engineers, you name it in IT or technology, and we have somebody in that particular job role within our community. It's free. We never solicit anyone for any type of funds, at least, not our members. It's a great environment for you all to come and seek help, seek mentorship. We have a forum that is very active. We have a Slack channel that is also very active. We have close to 300 people in our Slack channel. So we're in there chatting about technology or whatever. We're giving advice to people, and we're giving our opinions about things, and hopefully, some positive guidance as well comes out of that Slack channel. Our forums, like I said, it's pretty much the same thing. People get on there and they say, hey, what are you doing as far as this? Or, hey, I got a question about this, or, I need guidance on how to get into this position. And our community members are great at offering their suggestions and answers. So I invite both of you to come and join the Blacks in Technology community. It's a wonderful community. And I do want to emphasize that we are a community. So people are willing to help you out. People are willing to listen to your questions and get you answers and lead you in the right direction. Sometimes we have meetups. There's meetups at certain technology conferences. So even if you don't join the site itself, at least subscribe to our newsletter so you can hear about some of the wonderful offerings that we have. So and to anybody out there who's listening, I invite you to join as well. And if you want to pass that on to any of your colleagues or coworkers or whoever, pass the community on to them as well. Like I said, it's a great community. We continue to grow. And we continue to do wonderful things. We also partner with a lot of different tech organizations in order to be able to provide resources such as conference tickets and things like that to our membership base. So if there's a good coding conference or developers conference or whatever floats your boat, we're trying to partner with them so that we can provide those type of resources to our membership base. So I just wanted to extend that offer to you all as well. And I definitely want to thank each one of you for coming on the podcast tonight and sharing your stories and your experiences and sharing the program, a Step It Up America program, with our audience. And hopefully people who are listening will go to your website. They'll, if there's a way they can participate, they'll do that. If people or corporations, if anybody from any corporations are listening in and they want to know more about that, now they know who they can contact, and maybe they can help out as well. So I definitely appreciate you all joining me tonight.
Thank you, Greg.
We appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Happy holidays, everyone. Thank you.
Any parting words from anybody before we jump off here? I forgot to actually ask anybody. Anybody want to say anything before we jump off?
Nikki?
Call UST Global. We're waiting for the calls. We wanna. Our goal is to people in lives just through technology, and we cannot do it without the corporation. So
right.
that is what I'm going to holler out. As my last words on the call today. But happy holidays, everybody.
This actually might not be your last words. We didn't actually shout out what the website was. What is the URL of the website?
It's www.ust-global.com.
Okay. And you can follow them on Twitter at...
If there are any women who would like to join Step It Up America, there's also a website for that. It's joinstepitupamerica.com.
Stepitupamerica.com, yeah.
Excellent. And you all are at Step It Up America on Twitter as well, correct?
Correct.
That's correct.
Excellent. Thank you again, ladies. I definitely enjoyed this podcast, and I wish you all much success.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much.
Thank you so much.
Good night.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Thank
Take care.
you. Good night. Bye.
Excellent podcast. I love the program. I love what they're doing, and it's the right thing to do. Training women, training minority women to enter this tech industry and really start making our mark on this tech industry is the right thing to do. And I hope the Googles and the Twitters and all other corporations out there are taking notice about what's coming and what's already here. So I enjoyed myself talking to those ladies and wish them all much success. That is it for this episode of the Blacks in Technology Bit Tech Talk podcast. I want to thank all of our guests, Nikki Aurora, Kimberly Grigsby, Manuela Davila, and Felicia Ballard. If you like what you heard tonight, you want to let us know, you have any suggestions or comments, email them to us at contact us at blacksintechnology.net. Our next this is actually the last podcast of the year. So I want to thank everybody for listening in this entire year. This was a terrific year for our podcast, and we have much more in store for 2016. So I want to say, our next podcast is going to be January 7th, and we're going to have a longtime friend, Curtis Pope. He's going to talk to us about rejection and how to use that rejection to your advantage. So, check out the website. There'll definitely be a blog post about, that upcoming podcast and about Curtis Pope. Definitely looking forward to that. Curtis is a supporter of Blacks in Technology, and we definitely support him on what he does. So that's going to be January 7th, same tech time, same tech channel. Remember, tech yourself before you wreck yourself. Take care and have a good night.
Blacks in Technology.
Blacks in Technology. Blacks in Technology. Blacks in Technology. Blacks in Technology. Blacks in Technology.